is laundry organization and buying all of these beautiful products to put in your laundry room a scam, or is it actually really helpful? I want to unpack that in today's video. Now, you've seen all of the lovely TikTok and Instagram reels and all of that stuff. People showcasing their gorgeous laundry rooms with all of these things that you can decant and put into your laundry to make it look aesthetically pleasing and all the things, right? But I actually want to talk about this in a little bit more detail. I think I fell into the trap, but if I'm being truly honest, but let's just unpack this all together. In this video, I'm going to share 5 lessons that I've learned from organizing my own laundry room and making it more appealing for me to actually go in and do the laundry. Now, let me just give you a little bit of a backstory just so that you understand where I'm coming from. So in a previous video, I'll put the link up to it here, this one right here. I went ahead and decluttered my laundry room and threw away a whole heap of stuff and just made it a little bit more organized. I'd moved into this house probably about 2 years ago, and it was just looking really messy, and I hadn't really taken the time to actually organize it. Like the rest of us, right? Like, you've done the same thing. You either moved into a space, moved into the house, like, I'll just put it there for the time being, it will do, I'll deal with it later. And that later is what arrived. But then I also looked at my shelves and my open shelving that I have inside of the laundry, and I'm one of those people that I like things like it's organized, but I can shut the door and no one can see it. It's perfect. I just want it hidden away. I just want it to look tidy, but I don't have that luxury in my laundry room. I am blessed also that I have a laundry room to begin with. I recognize that, but I don't like the open shelving stuff. Like, that just makes my head spin. I thought, what can I do to just make it look a little bit better and make it just easier for me to go in and actually do the laundry, because I hate doing it. To be honest, my husband does a large majority of the laundry, but I also do my fair share as well. So I just needed something to make it look better. Now, on this journey, after I'd gone ahead and decluttered, and I'd said in that video that I was going to do a part 2, and this is the part 2. So I went on a journey, as you always do when you're on YouTube, Instagram. I'm not on TikTok, but went on Instagram and had a look, and I'm like, well, what are people doing? Like, what's the thing? And I think that's the trap that I kind of fell into. I'm not sure. We can discuss that at the end. So make sure you stay until the end for us to kind of unpack that a little bit more. So the first lesson that I actually want to share with you is the illusion of this perfect laundry and what it should look like and what you should be aspiring for. Now, I'm being real here. My laundry doesn't look like all of the beige laundries out there. I've got a freaking 2 blue shelves and light blue walls. My laundry looks like probably the vast majority, 98% of the rest of the population, right? It's just a haphazard mishmash of stuff, and it is what it is, right? You've seen all of those videos. You've gone there, like, look at this one, for example. Look how gorgeous it looks and how stunning, and like it's all labeled and everything's decanted and blah, 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 blah. Well, it looks great. It looks great. And I did think in my mind, this might help and combat my issue with having things open and visible to see. I like things put away in a cupboard, as I said, so I can't see them. The one thing that I did want to make sure that I was always thinking about when I was going through the process to organize my laundry is that it needs to be practical. And I kept thinking, and I'm sure you're the same, you know, you can let me know in the comments, whether all of these beautifully crafted, poised laundry rooms and homes or whatever, I'm like, is this a setup? Is this staged? Like, I don't know. Do people really live like that? Do you actually use your laundry room like that? And I was just so curious. I really wanted to know. And hey, I actually put it to the test to see whether that does work. And so I did. I actually put a load of laundry on earlier on today, and it does work. For me, it does. If you're on a journey to organize your space, whether it's your pantry, whether it's your laundry room or whatever it is, it's got to be practical. And I don't think you can kind of live into this or look at what you're seeing on social media as like the fantasy of what you want. There's a great YouTuber that I follow, and her name is Christina Micas, and she was talking about fashion. But you can apply the same rule and the same context to this as well. She was talking about purchasing clothing that you actually love, that you will actually wear and that you'll enjoy all the time, versus your fantasy self and what you would wear, you know, as like in your mind, like, I would love to wear this. This will be an amazing item to wear. I'll actually link up to the video where she discusses that. And it kind of put everything everything in perspective for me. You know, like, do I want the fantasy laundry or do I want the laundry to be actually functional that I can use it? Because I got 3 kids. My laundry, poor washing machine is on like twice a day. So what do you want? Like, think about it. Like, if you want your laundry room to be like the perfect, I'm saying perfect in bunny ears, and I'm hesitant to even say that, but what you see on social media, or do you actually want it to be functional so that you can actually use it and it's not some designed thing that doesn't even freaking work? Because you know that would literally spin your head off and make you even more crazy and upset that you went down this path to begin with. So the first lesson that I learned from this is really essentials over excess, right? Really thinking about that. I need the essential things, and I'm only talking about this small area with these cut 2 shelves. That's all I'm thinking about. I just want the essentials there. And actually everything that I use, I want it to be there. When I walk into the laundry, I want it to be completely practical, and I walk in, I take my laundry, put it inside, and I can use the things that are there. I have to open more cupboards and go in here and blah. I just want it to be there. So that's what the first thing that I want you to think about. I also want you to think with these setups that you're seeing on the socials. It makes me sound incredibly old, but what you're seeing on social media, and actually think to yourself, right, do I need that? Do I need it? Will it be nice? Yes. Fantasy self. It'd be amazing. It'll look great. It'll be this, it'll be that. But do I need it? And also think to yourself, is this part of, you know, the person that's sharing it? Hey, we've all got to make a living here. And I'm not throwing any shade at anyone that is an influencer and has an Amazon store, all of that, whatever, right? That's not what I'm getting at. We've all got to make money. But think to yourself, do you actually need those things, especially from Amazon? And I'm going off on a tangent, but bear with me. This is interesting because a lot of people share their Amazon stores, right? And the things, and I had a look at some of them, and these are the ones that you can purchase. And I'm like, oh, great. I live in Australia. So for me, we have Amazon Australia here. But if I wanted to purchase those exact items that that person has, you know, suggested, it's going to cost me like some astronomical price, like $150 for like 4 bottles or something. I'm like, what the hell? Like, no, that's a hard no on that one. Just think about it. Like, do you need to purchase it from Amazon? Do you need to purchase it from there? And I recognize you want to support that person because they've recommended it in their links. But remember, a lot of these people, like, that's their full-time job, is to share those links, right? So do you really need that? It's just something to really consider. And I had to really consider that for myself. And I was like, I'm going to have to find an alternative solution because what they're suggesting, I can't afford right now. Simple as that. Jumping in from the editing room here, that I wanted to add that there's a really great video that I watched actually just last night, which kind of inspired this video. So I want to give credit there, from Marissa at A to Zen Life. She talks about, you know, whether home organization is a scam. So I definitely recommend you should go and watch that video as well. I'll put the link to that one in the description below, but that's a fantastic video to go ahead and watch because she talks about, I'm talking about it from just a laundry room perspective, but she's talking about it more on the perspective of consumerism and home organization and all of that stuff as a whole. So definitely check that out. But coming back to the point of just having essentials over anything else is really important, or otherwise you end up in a situation like I did where things just, you purchase something, you realize it doesn't work, and then you've got those additional items in your home. Like I did. Let me just tell you the story. I was looking for a solution to put like my fabric conditioner, laundry powder, all of that stuff. And I found these bottles here and I thought, oh, these will be good for me to use. That'll be great. So once they arrived and I actually put my laundry detergent in one of them, I was like, okay, that's great. That's all going to work. But it's not functional because once I take that lid off, I've decanted, put the conditioner inside, and then I want to put the lid back on top of the container, it's all going to drip down and then I'm going to have it all on the outside. I was like, oh, for God's sake, this isn't going to work. So now I have 4 extra bottles or containers inside of my home, causing more clutter, which goes against the rule in which I have like 1 in, 1 out. So I was like, this is not going to work. So in the end, I actually have used them for something else and I actually put them in the pantry and put rice inside of there instead. But do you see see what I mean? Like, really think about what's essential, and when, you know, these people are promoting that these items, this is the one that you've got to get and it will help with this, but think about it and how you use it and how practical will actually be. Because I think it's so easy to get caught in that trap and then just start over consuming. Like, it is just a overconsumption frenzy. I'm trying to keep my life in check here and trying to keep it simple like you are. So there's no need to really go crazy and just like buy everything that someone has recommended. The second point that I want to raise here is all about personalizing your needs and not trends. I think I fell into it. I'll hold my hands up. I think I fell into it. But personalizing your needs, not the trends. So yes, I actually went on this journey to organize my laundry room because I felt that I needed to, and I did, because it just wasn't working. Every time I'd go in there, I would feel overwhelmed. As a person trying to simplify their life, I was like, I need calm. I need something that just keeps me from feeling like I'm going to fall off the edge. I really want you to think about, you know, customizing your laundry for your family's needs, right? You might be a family of 5, 6, 3, whatever it is, a couple, on your own, whatever it is, but customize it. If you're looking at these videos and thinking, oh, that this is what it should be, fantasy self, but think about your own needs. Like, what do you want and how are you actually going to interact with the space, which is interact with the space, but also interact with the things that you will put inside of there. You know, will it be actually practical for you to tip your laundry detergent out and put it inside the washing machine? Does that work for you? Is that how you currently use it? You know, I'm no interior designer or anything like that, but I think that these interior design principles still apply. How are you going to interact in your space? Like, how are you going to use the space? Because otherwise you're not going to get it perfectly right 100%, but you've got to use it and do it in a way that works for you, not kind of overconsume because you think that that's what you should be buying and that's what so-and-so influencer recommended from Amazon that you should buy. Note to self, don't do that again. Now this is an interesting one because as a family of 5, I'm constantly washing muddy and dirty football and soccer gear, sweaty preteen clothes, all of that stuff, right? And so I use different laundry detergents for different things and for different types of laundry loads, right? And that's actually really important. To me, that's an important thing because I find that if I have the same one, and I've tried God knows how many, try to use the same one, I don't get the results that I'm looking for that type of laundry load. That sounds like really detailed, but please tell me if I'm the only one that thinks like that. I'm sure I'm not, but maybe I'm the only one that's crazy and does that. But this third point that I want to raise is that I really want to combat or look at combating the laundry overload. There's like so many different products out there. There's hundreds of different laundry detergents you can purchase. There's laundry detergent, pre-treatment, laundry boosters. I didn't know, like, have I been living under a rock? I only found out about laundry boosters probably like 3 weeks ago. Where have I been? I didn't even know. And well, 3 weeks ago when I was on this journey, like trying to find the things that I need, and then had a look on some of these videos, I was like, what are those little bead things that people are using? I did purchase them. I purchased them because I was like, I'm happy to try them out to see if it works. And I might not continue to use them because I don't think they're actually as effective as I would like them to be. I don't think it's worth the extra money. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But if you haven't got the space for all of these different products that you looking at or looking to purchase, then it only leads to 1, a cluttered space, 2, like an overcrowded laundry, which defeats the whole point of having those things, right? Or even it doesn't simplify your life. If it doesn't simplify your life, then definitely don't keep it. But just be mindful of the types of products and stuff that are being promoted to you, like one fell in the trap here, that are being promoted to you that you need these ones because they're definitely going to help. I'm completely in two minds and I'm probably contradicting myself. Please let me know if I am in the comments. But I do feel that there's like too many things. Like, I don't want all of these stuff. If I finish using them, then I'm not going to buy them again. I'm just finding it so interesting. On a path to simplify my own life, and as you're on a path to simplify your own life, I really take stock of what you're purchasing. Not necessarily you could be looking at what you're consuming as in on social media, but thinking about like what you're actually buying and will it help you in the long run? Will it be something that you'll need to use within your family? Will it actually add benefit or add value? Just some things to think about, because I think we can kind of get caught up like I did, thinking that, oh, I should give those a try and I should definitely have those. Half the stuff I don't think we need, right? My fourth point here is all about keeping your systems simple and maybe even avoiding the label overload, right? Now, what do I mean by that? There are so many videos out there, and even if you look at my own laundry now, I've got my things labeled, but that's because I don't have a closed, for me, I prefer things neat, tidy, closed away. Because I don't have that, I find that if things are like haphazardly lying around all over the shelf like they were previously, that fills me with a little bit of anxiety and just makes me not want to do the laundry. And I don't like that. So for me, I actually did go about purchasing some labels from Amazon. Now, these labels that I purchased, interesting because yes, they do the job, but there's only one label for one item. Like, what the hell? Like, I just thought, oh my goodness, that's so irritating that I didn't read that before. And I do think that you can fall into this kind of consumerism trap where you feel like, well, I've got to have the labels and I've got to have the containers that sit inside and put the labels on the front so that it's neatly organized. But that if you think about it, it's just another ploy or an opportunity to purchase and buy more stuff, right? Scam. It's a freaking scam. Once I got the labels and I put them on the jars and everything, I was like, okay, this is great and I love it. But then afterwards, I did think to myself, well, I could have just got my daughter to do that. She loves doing that kind of stuff. We could have bought the labels and we could have created it ourselves and then just, stuck them on. I just feel like I just missed opportunity. Lessons learned. That's why I'm sharing them with you. The next lesson that I learned from this as well, whilst going on this laundry organization journey and trying not to fall into this consumerism and overconsumption trap, is that you don't need more stuff. You honestly don't. You don't, because you're already a mum trying to keep your house together and trying to keep it simple, right? So you don't need more stuff. I found that with all of these items that were being shared and these videos and, Amazon stores and all of that stuff, I kept thinking to myself, wait a minute, if I was to buy the jars to put the boosters in, this, that, all the things, all the others, that's going to cost me, what, $300? Like, that's a lot. Like, for me, I think that that's a lot. That might be not a lot for someone else, but personally, I think that's a lot of money. And I think, really? And that's the question, like, do I really need it? So what I did was I actually did purchase the Amazon labels that I mentioned before, and I also purchased carafe plastic bottles, 4 of those. And that's it. The rest of it, I actually decided to shop my house. I have a big enough house. I have more stuff than I care to admit. So there was things that I used for myself. So these jars that I've got here, the ones with the glass jars that I have, are actually coffee jars. We drink a lot of coffee in this house. We have a coffee machine, but actually we're just pretty normal and I drink instant coffee. I freaking love it. This coffee is great. And I love the jars that they come in. That's one of the reasons why I also buy it, because I can reuse them and I can reuse them around the house. And then also when I have an excess of those jars, I actually sell them, because I just sell them as the clean, empty jars and people buy them. Normally I sell about 4 of them at a time, of the big ones, for about $30. People love them. So I get my money back on my coffee, if you think about it. So I just went around and I shopped my house for whatever I could find. I went in the garage. I knew that there was a box somewhere that had some glass jars and bottles inside. Got those ones out. I'm like, oh, could I use those ones? The bamboo containers that you also see on the shelf, those are really old. My husband brought them from somewhere else that he used to work. The restaurant closed down, and so they were getting rid of all the stuff. So those are old, beautiful bamboo containers. I've got lots of different sizes of them. And I just used that. I was like, well, I need to put something in to kind of keep everything together. That's what I had. I already had the mat already that you see on the shelf to stop it getting scratched. I bought that from IKEA probably last year. I think. I used them in the wardrobes, in everyone's wardrobes, and I had one left over and I just used that one. So my recommendation to you is to really make sure that before you deep dive and go in and buy these things that you think that you need, one, think about, do I really need this? Two, will it actually work for the space and work for what I need it to? Or otherwise you're going to fall into the trap that I fell into. And three, what do I already have that I can use instead of buying something else altogether? So let's talk about it and come back to the question that I asked at the beginning of this video. Is laundry organization a scam? It's a tough one. I don't think it's a scam as such, but I think you have to go into it with your eyes wide open. I think you have to really think about it and really look at your own life before you get sucked into that trap of thinking, well, this is what I need and this is what's going to help me and this is what's going to make my house look picture perfect and look like my fantasy self laundry room or pantry or kitchen or home. Really? Is it going to look like that? Because I know, sure as shit know, that when I look at those videos and then I look at my pantry, it doesn't look the same. Like, it looks okay, it looks great, and it works for me. But just go into it thinking that I don't necessarily need to buy all of those. What do I already have that I can use that will actually make our lives simpler and make it look better? The picture perfect aesthetic laundry room is great and it does look amazing. Does it need to be all decanted? I've done it myself. Listen, you can judge me, that's completely fine. I've done it myself. But does it need to be though? And I did think afterwards, I'm like, did I need to do that? But for me personally, I actually did need to do that because as I said before, I prefer things to just be put away, but I don't have the option to do that. So I have to have it out. For me to feel like my brain is functioning and I'm not overwhelmed, I need just that clean space to make things look organized. It's an easy place for me to go. So I would love to know from you, what do you think? Do you think this kind of laundry organization, consumerism stuff is really necessary? Yes, it makes it look beautiful, but we don't live in Pinterest. We don't live in a Pinterest perfect world. So I don't know. I'm so torn. I'm so torn. But I wanted to have this conversation to at least shine a light on it and at least show you like, hey, I actually think I fell into it and thinking that that's what I needed. But I think I did have my eyes are like partially open to be able to kind of go into it not head first with buying everything out there thinking that that's what I needed to be able to make my laundry look perfect. No, it wasn't. I didn't have a huge budget. I just went with what I got. And also, by the way, I bought the items that you see, so those carafe bottles and even the one that didn't work, I bought those ones off Shein. So I bought them for like $20, I think, in total. Whereas on Amazon, it was something like $60 for 4 bottles. I was like, what the hell? How does that work? Exchange rate, all the stuff, whatever. But that's where I bought them from. So I want you to go into your next organization, something, whether you're organizing your pantry, your laundry, your home, whatever it is. Just go in with this kind of anti-consumerist approach and just make sure that you're going into it with your eyes wide open and not kind of falling into that trap of trying to consume anything and everything so that you can have that picture perfect, fantasy self laundry room, because it's likely it's not going to quite look like that. You might get close, but it might not look like that. I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments what you think and whether this video has been of benefit to you. And if you have been, you can leave a little queen in the comments below, because then I know that you made it to the end of the video club. Until next time, just keep fighting for simplicity. Hey, YouTube has just recommended that this is one of the next videos that you should go and watch. Until next time, see ya. Bye.